everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And before we get into today's video, make sure to smash that like button and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And today I'm doing a bookshelf tour. I'm actually super excited about this because it's a snow day, y'all. Like, I got out for that much snow. That is no snow at all. I'm out of school today and I'm bored. It's like 4 o'clock right now. I finished a book, I started a new book, and I'm like, I want to do something that involves books. So I thought, I'm gonna do a bookshelf tour so I can just rant about books. I have a lot of books on my shelf. This is like my top shelf and all my shelves that I have. We're gonna start off with my top shelf. The top shelf starts with the Harry Potter series. I started reading this when I was in like 3rd grade, and I think I finished it in like the middle of 6th grade. So it took me a while to get through it. It was a little difficult for 3rd grade me to read, and I wasn't that much of a bookworm back then. Also, these books are horribly treated. All the spines are broken. My Goblet of Fire, the back came off a while ago. So, and I didn't have any tape when it fell off. So now there's green tape on it. It's embarrassing. But I reread the first Harry Potter book maybe at the beginning of this school year. And it's actually like, it's so much better than I remember it being because I can actually understand what's going on now. Harry is so much more snarky and sassy in the Harry Potter books than in the movies. Movie Ginny is not the same as book Ginny. For those of you who have only watched the movies, read the books because Ginny is so much different. She has so much character and it's so great. Also, The Cursed Child, I got this while in Italy, so it's kind of like beat up. I did not like it at all. Feels like a poorly written fan fiction. The next book series I have is the Cruel Prince series. Let me get these out. Hang on. Cruel Prince was great. Love this book series so much. My friend is stuck in the middle of The Wicked King because like she can't get through it, and I can kind of see that. It gets kind of slow, but like it's worth it. I love it. Then How the King of Elfin Learned to Hate Stories. I also love this one. This one's great. It also has really pretty like illustrations. Like, look, it's kind of hard to explain what's going on, but like the illustrations are really good. That made me happy because I haven't seen illustrations in books since elementary school. The next book series I have on my bookshelf is the Dance of Thieves book series. There's apparently like a connected book series. I don't remember what it's called, but I haven't read it. I kind of want to because apparently you're supposed to read that one before you read this one. But I read this one first anyway. It was really good. I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive version, but it's so pretty and it has like gold edges and it has a bookmark in there. The plot in these was so great. It was perfect. It had like the enemies to lovers trope. It's actually been so long. All I really remember is kind of an enemies to lovers. But anyway, read it. I should say that I haven't read all the books on my bookshelf yet. Like, I haven't read this one book, Ace of Shades. Caroline got it for me for my birthday. But I just haven't gotten to it yet because I have so many books already. This is the Carnival series. It's a games type series, so not Hunger Games, but like kind of is the best way I can explain it. Anyway, there's a little bit of romance in there. Really good, loved it. And this is the holiday like novella. I love this. It also had like illustrations in it, and I love novellas that have illustrations in it. Like, I love the illustrations in books. Now, this is the side series, Once Upon a Broken Heart. I still haven't read the last book yet. This book is really good. The Ballad of Never After, oh my gosh. I literally finished that today, and that's what made me go on like a giant book rant. I was so sad. Like, towards the end, I started crying. Okay, the next book series on my shelf is Keeper of the Lost Cities. It has 11 books in it right now, so I'm not gonna take that off my shelf, and I'm just gonna stand here and talk about it. Really good. There's a bit of a love triangle in there, kind of like Harry Potter, but with elves, and the main character is a girl. I am totally team Sokeef if you have read it. Keef is superior to Fitz. Anyway, that's my opinion on those. Going down my shelf, if we take out a little decoration, we have The Hunger Games. This is the series that got me into reading originally. I read it in the summer between 5th and 6th grade, and I remember we were filming Camp Radio then, and I was like reading the books whenever we had breaks and everything. During like school nights even, I would stay up till like 2 or 3 a.m. finishing the books, which I don't know why. I love these books. This one went a little slow, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I feel like the ending made it a little bit worth it. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this book, but the other books are really good. The next bunch of books I will be talking about, there are 2 different series by my favorite author, Marissa Meyer. Lunar Chronicles is amazing. I loved it so much. It's a sci-fi kind of romancy. It's 4 main books and 2 like extra books. These are the extra books. This is the villain's backstory. These are like some characters' backstory, some extra stories. These are all fairy tale retellings, and I loved them. So the first one was Cinder. It's a retelling of Cinderella. Scarlet is Little Red Riding Hood. Cress, she is Rapunzel, or like the Tangled movie kind of. And Winter is Snow White. These are like some of my favorite books ever, and like I will still go back and reread some of these because they're so good. Then this is another series by the same author, Marissa Meyer. This is the Renegade series, but it's like an enemies to lovers kind of forbidden love thing. These are all YA, by the way, young adult. Futuristic dystopian society, or some people have like not hidden, but special abilities, and they get to work for like this regime type thing. I don't really know how to word it because I haven't read it in a while. Anyways, they were super good, and I love these. I just love the author in general. Like, she makes really good books. And to just move things along, this is the last like kind of major series on my bookshelves. It's called The Inheritance Games. A lot of y'all have probably heard about it, but I think it's really good and it's really fun. It's kind of like mystery type thing, and this girl gets this fortune from this really rich guy who died. I'm trying to explain this without spoiling, sorry. There's so many like plot twists and turns in this book. There is a love triangle in it too, and it's between like Grayson and Jameson, two of the grandkids of the rich guy who died, and it's like a bit of a love triangle there. I think the main character is better with Jameson, but if I were her, I would have chosen to be with Grayson. And this is The Brothers Hawthorne. It's a like side story. I've been reading it for like a really long time, but I haven't finished it because I'm just like, I'm not that interested in like the side stories or like what's going on now. I'm happy with the ending here. And the author also is coming out with like a lot of new like side series, and there's like a lot of more books coming out with that. But I haven't read any of that because like I'm just happy with how the series ended here, and I don't really want to read too much more in this universe. I'm like still trying to find out all the different fantasy worlds there are by other authors. That was like my last major book series that I had. Now I just have a lot of rom-coms. These are all the rom-coms, or like YA romance stories. Better Than the Movies and Nothing Like the Movies. Better Than the Movies is the first book. Nothing Like the Movies is the second. I love Better Than the Movies. It's so good. If you haven't read it, go read it. Moving on from the happy rom-coms, we have Heartless. Heartless is the most heartbreaking book I have probably ever read in my life. It's by the same author of the Lunar Chronicles and Renegade series, Marissa Meyer. It's the Queen of Hearts backstory. This book had me crying and smiling and laughing within like 5 minutes in the same chapter. Then at the end, I was bawling my eyes out, so I highly recommend that one. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I love John Green. He's an amazing author. This one also made me cry really hard, but I'm not going to tell you why if you haven't seen the movie or read the book yet. I read this when my parents were in Spain, and like my grandma was watching us, and I like came upstairs crying, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I just read the saddest book ever." Now the cheat sheet. I just read this literally, like I finished this maybe a week ago. It was so good. It started off a little slow, I will say. It's so good. I love the ending. The Upside of Falling. I think this one's like a more of a strangers to lover high school thing. I really like that one. That one was good. I read that while in Italy. I also read I Hate You More while in Italy. It's like her brother's best friend has to move in with them because his parents move across the country for a job, but like they don't like each other, or do they? There's more coming. We're halfway through the shelf. I also haven't read Betting on You yet, but it's by the same author who wrote Better Than the Movies, and apparently it has like a lot of Taylor Swift references in it. And look, it has sprayed edges. It's hearts, but it's kind of hard to see it on camera. I'm excited to read this. Divine Rivals. This was actually a good book. I love the plot of it. I just felt like it moved too quickly, so I didn't get to reading the second book, Ruthless Vows. And I've heard it's popular, but like I've never really gotten into it because I feel like Divine Rivals just moves too quickly. I'm kind of hesitant to read the second book, but I feel like I need to. Then we have the Selection series. This is a great series. These are the first 3 books. They're about this girl named America who enters this competition to potentially like compete against these girls to marry the prince of their like country. I've heard people compare it to like a mixture between The Hunger Games, The Bachelor, and I don't remember. I read it really fast, and I also got my new friend from school to read it, and she liked it. Then comes Happily Ever After. It's like it's like other characters' backstories or what other characters are up to now. Then we have 2 books from another character's POV, but like I can't say whose because that'll spoil it. I have the Divergent series. Kind of gives Hunger Games vibes. Some people say it's better than the Hunger Games, others disagree. I'm kind of in the middle. I think they're both really good. Then I have Where the Crawdads Sing. I got it because like my mom said it was good and my dad said my mom said it was good. So I'm like, why not? It sounds good. But I bought it without really like knowing what it was about. And I actually really enjoyed it. It wasn't like a suspenseful book like what I'm used to. It was more of like a peaceful book kind of thing. It's kind of hard to explain. But I liked it. It was a change from what I usually read. And plus Taylor Swift sings a song for the movie. Turtles All the Way Down, I read for summer reading for school. It was really good. Yeah, that's about all I have to say for that one. Looking for Alaska, also good. John Green's books are probably for kids around my age. If you're like too much younger, I would say probably wait a few years. I read this one while going to Italy. I was in the airport and I started crying in the airport. It was embarrassing, but I was really sad about it. And I also got this one. I haven't read it yet. It's The Odyssey. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition and it has frayed edges and a bookmark. I've been really into the epic musical lately. If any of you guys have ever heard about it, please comment because like I need someone to fangirl over this with because Caroline introduced it to me saying, OMG, you should listen to this musical one time at a sleepover. So we started to listen to it and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And I just finished the epic musical recently and I've been obsessed with it. So I got the Odyssey book so I could read it so I could like know it better, you know, so I can like know what's happening even though I already know what's happening. And I just thought like it's pretty, so why not? On the very bottom shelves of my bookshelf are books that I don't really like or that I didn't really enjoy reading. Don't hate on me for this, but Percy Jackson's down there. I think it's too repetitive. Like I love the idea of it and I'll pick it up like occasionally because I just want to like know what's going on, you know? The whole story, it's like, main character runs into a monster, they defeat the monster, they go on, they run into another monster, they defeat the monster. Can they solve the problem in their book? Yes. And I stopped about a 1/4 of the way into the 4th book because I'm just like, I've lost interest in it, you know? The Chronicles of Narnia I have down there because like I love the idea of the books and I love that C.S. Lewis wrote them. I love C.S. Lewis. But also like I had those for like school reading books when I was in like 3rd and 4th grade and they were really hard to read and I just never really found an enjoyment in them because they were more of like a task and like homework, you know? Also Little House on the Prairie because like it's a fun little book when you're younger, but like now I have so many other books that I like. I'm not sure why this is on the bottom shelf. This is really good. The Hiding Place, I just read this last year for school. It was so good. Go read The Hiding Place. It's about World War II, real story. Corrie ten Boom, I think she wrote it herself, maybe. But yeah, it's like about a World War II survivor and you can see all the wonderful ways that God worked in her life. So I'm gonna like put that higher up on the shelf, you know? Those are some more school books I've had. Where the Red Fern Grows, I actually really liked that one when I read it, but it's just sort of down there. Fever, 1793, I haven't read it in a while. The Phantom Tollbooth was good, but as I said, just school books. Then I have like Pollyanna, 2 horse encyclopedias, Little Pilgrim's Progress, Big Burn, I don't know what that one's about, and The Perilous Road. And I just have like that in a crate down there for the aesthetic, you know? But that concludes my ranting about the books. Now I feel like I should tell you how my bookshelf is organized. I'm gonna turn the salt lamp on for the aesthetic, you know? This is mainly like my fantasy book section, you know? I don't even know what this really is, but it looks like a little Harry Potter potion. So I just have it like with the Harry Potter. Cool Prince, fantasy. I'm not sure what this genre is, but I Googled it and it said fantasy. So I'm just gonna trust Google. Fantasy. So my top shelf is just fantasy. Then my next shelf is more like sci-fi transitioning into romance, and it's like a lot of these sci-fi books have romance. Like the Hunger Games, the Shatter Me series, Lunar Chronicles, Renegades, and then we have the Inheritance games. It's like more realistic romance, so it's kind of like transitioning. Then we have like other rom-coms. I have like seen how other people rearrange or organize their bookshelves, but I feel like this just works for me because I know where everything is, you know? Like I've seen people who do like rainbow order, but then I'm like, your series would be separated. Like the entire Harry Potter series, that would be separated. All these series would be separated. Those will make like the books fun and poppy, and I don't get why people organize it by like I don't know. I've tried by author too, but that just didn't make sense to me either, because like then I'd have like sci-fi or romance in the same section on the same shelf. Like I had it for a little bit. I started off with the author's like last names in alphabetical order, but then that just didn't make sense to me. So I changed it up and I got to where I am now. And now whenever I get a new book, I kind of just have to either like stack it like I am for these or completely reorganize the bookshelf. Then we have a little bit more romance, and it slowly like transitions into more like realistic-y books. I don't know what that is or what that is. I haven't read those yet. Then we have Where the Crawdads Sing, and that's like more realistic. I don't know why I put the Odyssey there. It just looked like it fit. Then I have like more realistic. Then I have like some other books, mystery books. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know why I got it. Then more Marissa Meyer books. But then it kind of goes to more sci-fi again, like sci-fi books that I haven't read yet. Then just down to books I don't like. Also, as a little side note, if any of y'all ever writes a book, you should probably send it to our Tic Tac Toy P.O. box, because I would read it and I would cherish it and it would be on my shelf for forever. So I'll have my dad put the P.O. box in the description or something if it ever just happens to become a thing. So, you know, it's the bookshelf. It's cute. It's a vibe in here. And this is my little cozy area in my room. Like, this is my little seating area. Honestly, I would be shocked if y'all kept up with that. That's just me ranting about my bookshelf organization. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to me rant about books. I had so much fun today, and I will see you guys in the next one. XOXO, bye!